Welcome to Best Kept Secrets Travel, episode 36. My name's Morgan.
This is part 3 in the finale of our, and my name's
And that's Will.
It's part 3 and finale of our interview with Megan and Rachel.
And it's also the finale of this season.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is! It's the finale of the season!
Woo!
So on this episode, we're going to be covering everything. We go into depth with the items which Megan and Rachel could not travel without, their opinion on how travel is very beneficial for their mental health and why it helps them personally, and their best kept secret. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. And then we also just have a little chat at the end, which was also quite fun.
A little chat, Morgan. It went on for like another half an hour. That's why we have this part 3.
Well, it may as well get straight to it then. Roll the intro.
Best friends, and that's for life. Who stay traveling? I'm talking worldwide, 65 countries between the two. Every moment is so unbelievable. Sharing the best kept secrets about the trips and mistakes they made that they can't forget. So tell me if you're ready for a time to remember as they gear up for the next adventure. Yeah. Woo! Best kept secrets travel.
So,
But it sounds like you got
else.
a lot done, and it was very efficient.
Yeah.
That's a very good effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as
Yeah.
We're going to come to the most important questions. Now, these are the most important, so make sure you say amazing correct answers.
we'll take turns going through and we'll alternate between the two of you so we get clean, crisp and precise answers because these are so important.
Because they look good on TikTok.
This actually sounds more like we're now taking the mic, but these are genuine questions.
Yeah.
So, we'll start with Megan on this question. Out of everywhere you've ever been, country-wise, what is the most underrated country you've been to and why?
Oh, easily Vietnam. I think Vietnam's so underrated. Like, there's so much to do there that I don't think people realise. Like, you only see things like Ha Long Bay, like, and there's so much more to it than that. Yeah. Top.
Good
Rachel?
answer.
I don't know.
Up to you. You can say more or less.
I agree with Vietnam, but I also think the Netherlands. I think when people think Europe, people very rarely think of Netherlands, and if they do, they just think Amsterdam. And again, like same as Vietnam, there's so much more to do. There's so many more amazing places that you can go and see. And even though it's not got like huge tourist attractions, there's still some like beautiful places that you can go and explore and see. And it's so close. Like it's not like it's like you could do it in a few days. It's not like it's a massive long like trek across the world. But I think it's underrated.
Can you give some examples of these places in the Netherlands?
Well, I've only been to Amsterdam, and I've been to Rotterdam, but but I know I have friends that have like which were both amazing. But I have friends that have been to like other parts of Netherlands, and they rave about it, and it's one of the places that I'm desperate to go. Like my next little Europe getaway. I really want to go to the Netherlands. I think it's.
Well, you need to go do a one-day getaway.
I know. I need a spontaneous friend to come with me. And I need to earn money.
Hi.
That's my biggest problem.
Hi.
Yeah.
So, our next question is, every time you travel, and we'll start with Rachel this time, every time you travel, what is the one item that you, excluding your passport, that you cannot travel without?
Are we ignoring like all the basic boring things like a plug adapter and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ignore the basics.
Well, it's a good question.
Thanks, I came up with it.
I'm trying to think like what was essential when I was traveling. Just like a travel pillow count? Because that was something that became like essential to me travel. I mean, mine's like by my bed. Like I deliberately bought like
Pillow.
I bought like
normal pillow.
it's one of the round the neck ones. Like, I spent a lot of money
Ah.
on a really comfortable one, and it went with me everywhere. And it became a very essential thing to my travel experience. So, a travel pillow, I would say.
It's funny you say that because we actually did an episode a few weeks ago where we're doing the 10 most important items to take traveling, and we did have travel pillow as
It's
one of the items.
I lost one halfway through our trip. It was like clipped onto my bag, and then when I got the bag off the bus, my pillow was gone, and I was heartbroken. And I immediately was like, I have to get another one.
So
So I spent a lot of money on travel pillows, but I have zero regrets. That or a portable phone charger. That just come into my head.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
that's
one.
my other one.
And Megan?
I mean, I definitely agree with both of those. The travel pillow one, especially. I think, I don't know. It's so hard. I think I'd say like your own water bottle is definitely one that, like, I know it sounds boring, but like having your water bottle, like a water bottle that's yours with you, is just so much better because like you can just, like, especially in Australia, like when we were getting on and off the buses, like there were so many places that like we were just in the middle of nowhere and it was just kind of a quick stretch your legs and then get back on the bus. And like you just didn't have chance to like go to a shop, pick stuff up, that kind of thing. So it was good having it there. So yeah, there's definitely that.
I've thought of another one.
Yeah. Oh,
A microfiber towel. Oh, yeah. I agree with Tiger Balm. I fully agree with Tiger Balm,
towel.
but a microfiber towel is my other one.
Tiger Balm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiger Balm and microfiber towel.
Can you explain what Tiger Balm is?
It is a
It's
magic
basically, like,
potion.
You can put it on like bug bites. Yeah.
It treats
It's
headaches.
really weird, but it smells like,
I bought it in
It's
Thailand.
menthol.
yeah. Headaches, bug bites. It's like
Colds.
Vicks, like Vicks
Yeah.
Vapor
It
Rub.
smells so nice.
I used mine yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have that for show and
Yeah.
tell as well?
No, it's in my work bag downstairs.
I would, but I'm not at home right now. So.
Actually, you
We
say
will-
that. I might have one.
Oh my god. Will,
So many of
he's
those
gonna die
items
right now.
were in our episode. So many of those items were in our episodes.
I'm genuinely looking to see if I do have it.
The anticipation is absolutely killing me right here.
Tiger Balm.
There it is. That is it.
This is the red one, but you can also get a
I would
white
recommend
one.
the white one though because
I had a
Yeah.
green one.
ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'd recommend the white one because the
yeah.
the red one always like got on your
Stained.
clothes.
I'm actually really happy that I just
Yeah.
found. This is my actual Thailand one as well. My white one's from the UK.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've still got my Thailand one, to be fair. You
Yeah,
don't go
I've
through
still
them
got
very
my Thailand
quickly.
one.
You have,
No.
At home. On my...
you have it. You have it.
Yeah, I still have one of them, yeah.
How have I never heard of this?
He can't believe he's never heard of this.
Well, I'm
This is-
laughing at that, but someone just made Megan jump. It's just going to be really funny when you watch it back.
I just turned to the side and there was someone stood in the doorway and I was like, oh hi.
I did tell you at the start, it's definitely worth having a drink of water.
I mean it's not water, but
I was going to say she got hand delivered a glass of wine about 10 minutes ago.
it was more than 10 minutes ago. It's also gin.
How many? Just straight gin.
No.
Starting with Megan.
This is a very important question.
Do you believe traveling is good for your mental health? And if so, why do you think it helps you personally?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I'd say yeah, that it's good for your mental health because, like, obviously, depending on the situation, but for me, like going to Thailand, going to like Vietnam, Bali, like my confidence grew like dramatically going from like place to place, like because you kind of got forced into the situation of meeting new people. Like you couldn't be that uncomfortable person in the corner that didn't was a bit too nervous to speak to someone. Like you had to sort of throw yourself in there. And I think that's how it helped me. Like I was so quiet and so shy and like I just couldn't, always be that sociable sometimes in like situations like that. Whereas when we were there, I just didn't have a choice. So it was either don't make friends or, be on your own. So yeah, it helped me a lot with like doing that.
And was it easy to go and make friends? Like, did anyone
I'd say
ever
so, 'cause everyone's
shoot
in
you
the
down
same boat.
massively?
No, I don't think so. Like everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's looking to have someone to talk to. Everyone's looking to like have that social interaction that they, weren't always getting because they were sat in a hostel bed. Or like you'd be going from place to place and you'd just meet people and you'd start talking.
Yeah, so it push you out your comfort zone a little bit and allow you to actually go and meet new people.
Yeah.
Good. And Rachel.
Exactly.
I agree with Megan. But I also think I was on my phone. Like, I think, like, being on your phone, I find, and, like, social media is the worst thing for your mental health. And when you're traveling, you're so busy and, like, like you say, like, you're talking to people and stuff so much that I find, like, I was very rarely sat on my phone for hours, like, scrolling through social media, which is the thing that I find just is, like, the worst thing for my mental health. Even though I do it, and I know that I do it, like, it's so bad for you. Whereas when you're traveling, like, you become oblivious to a lot of what's going on. So, like, it'd be like 3 weeks later and you'd hear about something that had happened in the news, and it, like, but because you weren't on your phone and you weren't, surrounded by media, it was like you were in an oblivious little bubble, which I found was just like your mind just becomes so much freer and you're not worrying about things and paranoid about things, and it's like really stupid, but like we did Asia, like Thailand and Vietnam and Bali, we didn't wear like a scrap of makeup the entire time, and we'd be in nightclubs and bars and pubs with like not washed hair and like the same jeans and t-shirt that we've been wearing all day with like no makeup, and we did not care in the slightest. But then we got to New Zealand, and because we went to Auckland and we were in this big city, we suddenly got like really conscious and paranoid about the fact that we weren't wearing makeup. And it was just because we were back in this environment that like makeup is the norm, and all these girls were like dressed beautifully and had all like all their makeup and everything done and their hair all done and these amazing clothes. And we literally landed and like 2 days later went shopping and bought new clothes and new makeup. Because the temperature was drastically different and we realised that we needed things other than jean shorts and t-shirts.
Drastically different.
But also because we were suddenly like back in an environment where it was like, oh, we need to like impress people again, which is like, it sounds stupid to say, but I remember us sitting down talking about it and being like, it's crazy how we've just travelled for 3 months without a care in the world, and then suddenly we're back in this city environment, and now all of a sudden we feel like we need to wear it again. But I do think that like traveling in the similar way with confidence, like talking to people, like my confidence in myself grew. Like I'd worn makeup since I was like 14 years old every single day, regardless of what I was doing, then went traveling and didn't wear anything for 3 months. And then not like I wear a hell of a lot less makeup now than I did before I went traveling, and it's probably because I didn't wear it for so long, and I like met so many people like you guys. The first time you met me and Megan, we weren't wearing any makeup, we hadn't showered, like, and we didn't care. I know it was really obvious.
Yeah, we didn't want to say anything.
It was fine.
Yeah.
We knew, so it's fine. But then, like, we met you in Brisbane.
Yeah, we knew. And we didn't.
And we went on a night out, and it was, like, weird seeing each other, like, wearing clothes and putting in, like, that we'd put effort into. Like, it was weird, like, you seeing us in makeup.
Not wearing.
So we,
Yeah, I needed to clarify. Like,
we were wearing clothes beforehand, right?
I meant, like, clothes that we didn't care about. Like,
Everyone
we
was
hadn't...
fully clothed.
It wasn't the party farm. But yeah, like, it was like, but it was, like, nice. It was nice not caring about, like, what I looked like for a lot of months. That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Well done, you made it.
I got to the end, yeah.
Thanks for, I guess, making an effort with us at the end.
I haven't done today, so we're back to where we started.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything.
It's fine.
So our next question, that's okay. Our next question is, what is the best travel advice you've ever received? Who wants to
I mean,
go first?
sorry. I can go first.
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
I'd say the best travel advice that I received was while we were actually already traveling, and I regret not doing it so much. And it's a really stupid and like boring thing, but someone had taken an extension lead traveling with them, and I had never thought about why I hadn't done that. It's like they were there with like had everything charging, like it was such a simple little thing to do, but I felt like it was just such a like good idea.
Why would you ever take an extension lead?
Because they had like obviously like they had their phones charge, also like camera, GoPro, that kind of stuff.
They need hair straightener, hair dryer.
They were still working on their
It just
self-confidence.
seemed really handy at the time. Yeah.
So I will change it
I
from
mean, it wasn't for curlers and
extension
stuff,
leads.
but
You mean as in like one of the long ones with all the plugs on it?
yeah.
So
But no, I'd also
that's slightly insane. And I'd take an adaptable 4-plug USB socket. So you can change the front to any international plug, but then you have 4 slots for your USBs, because almost everything now runs off a USB.
Yeah.
It's the
Not
same
hair
thing,
dryer.
it's just a different...
I had one with like a USB port. Yeah, it was just a bit different. But
It's the same thing, but it's just a different thing.
Because like the hit. Things are different. Go away.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
fine. Yeah. Right.
So what is it? Best advice for travelling?
There is probably other things.
The best travel advice
Possibly.
you've ever received.
I would
best
say-
advice you've had for exams.
I don't know if I have been told it, but it's something I've realised is just like be open to everything. Like try not to say no to too many things, unless obviously it's something you really like, you know, is dodgy or you're scared or anything like that. But just try not to say no. Like be willing, because like some of the things that might sound crazy will end up being the best things you could do. It's like, I don't like the ocean, for example. We've covered this. But I said yes to doing a dive, like, in the ocean, and it did end up being amazing. Whereas, like, and at the beginning of travelling, I probably would have said, like, no, I'm not going to do it. Whereas I did it, and, like, although I probably wouldn't do it again, I'm glad I did. Like, so, like, just try and be open and, like...
Yeah.
push the boundaries as to what you think you're capable of, I would say.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
I'd also say like going to places that you've never heard of isn't always a bad thing. Like you know, I'd never heard of Phong Nha until my stepbrother mentioned it. But we went and it was incredible. We went to Bangkok and didn't like it, so we went to a place that we've never heard of. It was amazing. We got to Bali and someone said to us, "Oh, have you got the Gili Islands on your plan?" And we said no, and they were like, "Oh, you should definitely go." And it was our favourite part.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Where would be the number one country on your bucket list if you could travel tomorrow, money no object, time no object, you just travel straight there tomorrow? What's your number one country you'd love to go to tomorrow? Go.
I ask this question at work all the time. Mine right now would be Croatia. I'd really
I'd
like
love
to
to
go
go.
to Croatia,
I haven't
and
been.
I'd want to see Dubrovnik to go and see like all the Game of Thrones stuff. My friend's been to Viz loads of times and says it's amazing. Hvar looks beautiful. Split, like it just looks like such a fun place to go. Mamma Mia 2 was filmed there, and you can go on the boat. I really want to do it.
I
So,
think
yeah.
at the moment I would say I really want to do Canada. Just because I think there's a wide range of stuff that you can do in Canada, and I'd love to like road trip it. I like my cousin went not that long ago. She sort of did like America, Canada, and then went over to Iceland as well. And like it just looked insane. So I would love to do Canada.
Nice.
Nice. They're quite good points. So, if you could boil it down to one point, and this is probably the most important question because
This is the final question. It is the most important question.
it's also technically kind of the title of the podcast, is what would your best kept secret travel tip or piece of advice that you would give someone who is looking to travel and maybe they're worried or they don't know what to do?
Rachel, you're first.
If they're worried, I would say read loads of like travel blogs or like listen to travel podcasts. Like not really like research onto
Like
where
this
you're.
one.
Yeah, this one for example. But there's much better ones out there. But like I would just.
Like what?
I would say like
Name them.
I don't listen.
Moving on.
Moving on. I would just say like don't do as much. Like do research to sort of build your confidence that you're not going to be the first one to travel. You're not going to be the last person to go traveling. Like if they can do it, you can do it. If you are scared, see if you can find someone to go with you. Like there's so many Facebook groups and stuff out now for traveling that like random strangers meet up and go on holiday or things like that. So try and find like a little like traveling community to fit yourself into, whether that's through like a blog or a podcast or a Facebook group, and just try and like if you are really scared to do it on your own, try and build your confidence that way. Because once you've traveled a few countries by yourself, like you can do it. Like or well, this is a long answer, but like start off with, if you're really scared, start off with a country that's got the same language as you. So then if you're having to navigate a different country, you can start off with one that you know you can communicate in, and then slowly build your confidence into one where maybe they don't speak the same language as you, but like you can find ways to communicate. That's my advice.
Just good advice. And Megan?
I mean, I'd agree. There's so many like group tours that you can go on as well. So like there's companies that do group tours in like countries in Europe that you can go on, and then you can sort of go from there. So sometimes I think it would be worth doing like a group tour as well, because like even in New Zealand there was like the Kiwi tours, and you can go on that, like, and you do the tour with the same group of people as you're going down. And like, I feel like that always helps because you're bound to meet people on these tours. And then if you want to carry on traveling after that, you've met your group of friends. You can always be like, oh, I'm planning on going to Australia after this. Do you want to come with me? 9 times out of 10, they'd probably say yes. And like, I know people that have done it for places in like Europe. People have done it for like Bali, like Thailand have got like Camp Thailand and all that kind of stuff where people are like known for going off traveling after that as well. So I think that's something definitely to look at if you're worried about going traveling. Because it's what I was planning to do before Rachel said she'd come traveling with me.
Aw.
Yeah.
I think they're both very good points.
They are best kept secrets.
Just because you aren't travelling on your
that
own
is
doesn't mean you're not
technically-
travelling.
That's true.
Exactly.
You should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, we're going to nick that,
You,
and you'll get no
you
commission.
should put that on a t-shirt.
I was just about to say, yeah. You can have that one for free.
Oh, thanks.
And in return, before we close this episode and give our thanks to you guys, Rachel,
We'll give a rendition of
you are
Breaking
allowed
Free.
to plug your grooming business in this podcast. Morgan's actually written a note for this. There is actually a note saying promote
Because I
Rachel's
said it
groomers.
on Rachel Alice
Go.
Groomers. It was on my form.
Take it away.
Oh, well, it's Rachel Alice Groomers. It's set in Chorley in Lancashire, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. Fully qualified, fully insured. I don't know what else to say.
How can people find you?
Oh,
How can people find you? Yeah.
it's at Rachel Alice
Probably quite a good
Groomers on Facebook and Instagram. It is. I have it on my phone. I know it's backwards, but it's that.
Amazing. Thank
It's
you
a great
both
self-groom.
for...
I've seen her at work.
we're really trying to work on ending these. We're not very good at it.
Right, should we give it a try again? Try again. Should we pitch it ourselves?
Yeah, go for it.
We'll plug your groomers.
Thank you. Go for
Right.
it.
Right.
We're sorry. Was that not?
Is your dog looking tired, slightly distressed, and is its fur overgrown? You need to get yourself down to Rachel Alice Groomers today. You need to book your dog into the barbers. That barking barber needs to go now. This needs Rachel Alice Groomers right now.
On
If
Facebook
you
and
tell her
Instagram.
that you found her through the Best Kept Secrets Travel podcast, we will plant a tree just in return for this. And you can choose the country around the world at Rachel Alice Groomers. You can find her on Instagram at Rachel Alice Groomers.
Or just go to Chorley.
She's fully
Yep.
qualified, fully insured, and she will make sure your furry friend is happy, clean, and trimmed. Like
A dog.
I don't know. It's probably not even by a machine. It's probably clips. I don't know. But at Rachel Alice Groomers, you need to go now. There we are. There's your plug.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
Not sponsored.
Thank you so much
Not
for
a
coming
paid
on to the
ad.
podcast.
No.
No. If anything, we're paying for your space on it.
And this gives you more of a... This makes you want to share the secret even more and tell even more people, right?
Yeah.
About the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You need
Really?
to share this to all your family's friends, enemies, pets. Tell all your
Tell all
furry
your
friends
pets.
about it. At
Absolutely.
Rachel Alice Groomers. So, thank you very much for coming on the podcast. We will, I think Morgan and I are probably going to start hallucinating soon.
Gonna die.
It wasn't awkward at all.
Eventually.
I feel like
We've
I
almost
feel like you both need a nap, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
we've been recording for 14 hours straight.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
you guys deserve a nap.
Thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming on this podcast.
You're very welcome.
Okay,
Thank
in
you for
real-
having
in
us.
real-
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
thank
worries.
Bye.
Yeah. What a season finale.
Some of the stories. I was sat here just like, oh no, I don't know where these are going to go.
That was, as I said, as our second interview, and that was so much fun. Both interviews we've done this season, I've really enjoyed.
I love when you see them telling a story and then in their mind they're like, oh no, but then this happened.
That
And
was
then
the
they're
thing
just-
about there being two, yeah, and they just cut off and they're like, yeah, this happened, this happened. It was so much fun to listen to.
That was a great way to end this season.
Yeah, and it really gets me excited about the season to come.
Ooh, season 3.
So what do you think we're going to have more of in season 3?
Are we going to be eating weird foods?
I think we might
Are we
be.
going to be drinking weird things?
Potentially.
Are we going to be interviewing people whilst eating and drinking weird things?
Definitely. Are we going to be interviewing potentially live? Ooh.
Are we going to potentially interview AR Global Security on his travels and make him eat weird things
Even more weird things.
and drink weird things?
I think we could.
I think we could as well.
But also, we're going to concentrate and try and make season 3 more about being as educational as possible. We want to teach as many people the best kept secrets about travel, and we really want, and we think that interviewing is a really good way to do that because you get all these different perspectives.
And then we can give our opinion on it.
Yeah, which I quite enjoyed.
And it's also it's really interesting seeing other people's lessons or the ways they would have gone around not doing it. Because a lot of the things which we've had in the past 2 interviews, both in Megan and Rachel's and Ben's, their solution or their way they'd stop it in the future, I just wouldn't go about it that way.
Yeah,
Which I find really funny in the processing mindset of travelling.
the amount of times we went through those interviews, and I wouldn't have come up with that.
Or I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
I'd do it this way. But it's funny how it's completely different.
Yeah, which I think provides so much more value for you guys, the listeners.
That we are not the only example of travelling. We're just the best. Kept
Yeah.
secret travelling.
That is a very objective view.
But it's the right one. Season 3 is coming up next. And as always, we need to remind you that for every 50 downloads on this podcast, on podcast platforms, we plant a tree. For every 100 subscribers on YouTube, we plant a tree in a National Trust location around the country. And for every 250 followers on TikTok, we also plant a tree.
And I'm too excited for season 3. And like all seasons, we're going to start off with a trailer, like we normally do. And can you guess it? What is going to be episode 1 of season 3?
I think we need a new backdrop.
What is it going to be? I think we could do with a new backdrop, yeah. But what is season 3, episode 1 going to be about? Planning.
Has to be about planning. And to remember, share that secret with your family, friends, your aunties, your uncles, your pets, your colleagues, your enemies, and everyone in between. All those strangers on the tube, the underground, the metro, whatever one you are, whatever country, you need to share that secret. You need to get that podcast out there, grow that podcast like we're growing trees, because that is hashtag share the secret.
And if you want us to get Megan and Rachel back on again, just reach out to us and we will. Because I want to make, and we want to make, season 3 the biggest and best season we've had.
Biggest.
And for that to happen, you really do need to share the secret.
Share the secret so we can grow the tree.
And on that note, I think for the last time this season, roll the outro.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I hope that you can handle going on adventures, best kept secret travels. Yeah, all over the globe, having fun, you know the deal. Amazing secret locations, hang out with Morgan and Will. Educate and entertain, haggle in the market, sharing their experiences. Time to get it started. Let's go.